Hi, this is Joanne, and as you are aware, as I'm filming this in July 2009, that we still happen to be under the World Health Organization's Phase 6 pandemic alert for the novel swine flu, the one that is caused by H1N1 virus. Epidemiologists study the factors that affect the health of the population and what causes disease and how does a disease progress throughout any given population. Well, not just diseases caused by a causative agent, but also conditions, things that may have genetic factors or other predisposing factors involved. So during the height of the frenzy in March and April concerning the novel swine flu virus, I happened to run across a really wonderful book that made me chuckle just by the mere fact that the author has impeccable timing to be so lucky to have a book be in the bookstores ready to read with a very timely title. And this book is Dread by Philip Alcabes, How Fear and Fantasy Have Fueled Epidemics from the Black Death to the Avian Flu. And he is an epidemiologist indeed, and what he does in this book is he takes an overview look of epidemics throughout history and takes a look at how society has reacted. What is the psychology in the minds of people that maybe helped push epidemics along or make people more afraid of a particular epidemic at any given time. So he does, of course, discuss the Black Death and cholera and typhus and malaria, all the way to syphilis and AIDS and even the obesity, the so-called obesity and autism epidemics. So why are certain things called epidemics and other things aren't? Like, for instance, we have real concerns with MRSA, the multiple resistant Staphylococcus aureus, the flesh-eating bacteria that we do truly need to worry about, but that hasn't been considered an epidemic, whereas obesity has. So we do need to consider it. You know, he offers some theories on these different things. So, and so as it turns out, my favorite chapter happened to be about germ theory and science. So there was a point in time where suddenly we started to realize via the laboratory that there were actual causative agents that were involved in making people sick. So before that, people just sort of blamed it on miasma and didn't truly understand, that it wasn't the fact that you were black or you were an immigrant that really had very little to do with the disease, but it was actually a virus or a bacteria creating these issues for people. Now, of course, there are risk factors that make you more susceptible to getting a disease, whether it be poor sanitation or just poverty in general, that can do that. But sometimes we like to place our own xenophobia into a situation to be afraid of certain things. Makes it easier for us to grapple with the fear because in general, epidemics are really tricky things to forecast. They're hard to grasp. There's so many factors. It's not just the causative agent. It's how did it spread and how can we control it and will we be able to control it? I think the biggest fear most people have is that we will have a repeat of the Spanish flu of 1918, which stands out as this be-all, end-all epidemic that is so virulent that it just takes down healthy people. So that is a real concern of people. But Philip does discuss a lot of other things that play into the fears of people when we discuss things like epidemics. He discusses, public policy and education that have come from the various epidemics, and I think that's very interesting. He also makes a very lovely comment that I do want to read here because I think it's so wonderful and pointed and highlights exactly what seemed to be happening with the novel swine flu, which seems to be just as deadly as any other flu, but people tend to be a little more panicked. And what he has to say about that is the incessant exhortation to worry issued by officials, backed by scientific findings, and amplified by media makes the public more susceptible to anxiety and more easily manipulated. So he has good insights all the way around on all sorts of topics related to various plagues and to so-called modern epidemics that maybe shouldn't be worried about at all. So I really enjoyed this book, Dread. Read it right away as soon as I picked it up. Got me a couple months before I got to review it here, but I really enjoyed it. I think you will too. Pick it up and enjoy it as well. All right, thanks. Bye.